See you tomorrow. 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 Boop, boop, boop.
Man.
Welcome to see you tomorrow.
I like the way you kind of do like a dance club remix of that. I sounded a dance club. I like the way you do a discotheque remix of that.
I like your discotheque version of funky tune of theme songs.
See you tomorrow is now, says Uvia. It is what, 11 o'clock your time, PM?
Oh, God. It is. Although I've been on your time today, too, because
I was going to say, you started your day in St. Louis, Missouri.
I started my day in St. Louis.
You've ended your day.
New York City, baby.
In New York City.
That debate is happening. That happened not far from me, Dan.
This is such a weird thing that they did it in New York. Usually you do that shit in the swing state.
No, I know exactly where they're at right now, Dan. They're at the CBS Center. It's up near Lincoln Center. It's up near 57th Street. So,
well,
I could walk there if I wanted to.
We have finished watching the vice presidential debate.
Oh, God. God damn it. Why did you do this?
You've had a long day.
Dan?
Yeah?
I don't blame you.
Okay.
But?
I think that's good because I'm pretty sure that this wasn't my idea, actually.
It wasn't mine. I wouldn't have an idea like this.
And recording it, I'm pretty sure that was your idea.
My idea was to watch Twilight and have a recording. That'd be awesome. That would have been awesome. That's cool stuff. Instead, we watched this bullshit for 90 hours. That went on too long. It really
makes me mad that they call these 90-minute debates and they're like an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
No.
That's breaking a promise to the American people.
They say they're going to be 90 minutes, and they are, in fact, what's 15 plus 90? 1 hour and 5 minutes. Is that what you said?
No, they're not 1 hour and 5 minutes.
They are.
They're an hour and 50 minutes.
105 minutes.
Okay.
60 plus 45. It's 105.
All right.
It was 105 minutes.
Okay.
It's very late.
Welcome to Math Talk with Maureen and Dan.
Look, Dan, if anyone is foolish enough to watch the video of us watching that, what they will see is me desperately trying to do other stuff, including stretch out some boots, balance a can on my hand.
Her head.
I could do my hand as well.
Okay.
It's not as impressive.
No, especially when you can't even see it. You just see the can.
Ta-da! This is a really good
That's
Topo
just called
Chico.
holding a can.
You know what, Dan? Shut up. That's what I have to say about that. I tried to disengage from the process as much as possible.
You did. That was really a point where you were slung low in your chair.
I didn't like it. I didn't want to be there, and I chose to be mentally elsewhere.
Yeah. So that video will come out after this. So
should we just tell people who were smart enough not to watch this what just happened?
I think that's the point.
Okay.
I'd actually rather talk about St. Louis, but
first of all, thank you to all the Sezhuvians who came out, and there were many of you, and it was an amazing event, and there was a dog. And shout out to the two brilliant Sezhuvians who brainstormed and realized, and we came to this conclusion together that what I need to do is basically create the planner version of the Stanley Cup accessory.
Yeah.
And so like a backpack that goes on your planner, and then like a little tiny planner that you can hang off the backpack that goes on your planner.
I love it.
So
we can make this happen.
As soon as we started talking about it, I was like, oh, wait, I get this now. Like this, it's starting to make sense. But so lots of people came out. It was great. I have to say that the majority of the rest of my time in St. Louis was super boring because I got there sort of with just enough time to sort of eat something and be in the hotel, but not do anything else.
Okay.
So I had to try to get some food in the hotel, and they didn't really have anything, and they weren't answering their phone.
Oh.
I was like, hello? And so nobody ever picked up. And then there was like a creepy QR code that eventually it was taking me to like an Indian, as in the country of India, like a page of movie synopses or something.
What? What?
It was like taking me to a page of synopses of like Bollywood action movies.
This is in your hotel room?
And when I tried to scan the QR code then to try to get the food, that's what came up.
Maureen, you know what would be really fun?
What?
You could so easily QR code jack shit in hotels. If you just had little QR code sticker that you stuck on top of that stuff, because no one would ever know. No one. You could just have anything. You could do anything.
What if it just took them to this podcast?
Yeah. Then we'd have a listener.
Dan, just the way it tells me how you feel tonight, because I said that idea and you just kind of went. It was like I could see you were searching for something, like you were searching for a good feeling, and you went,
yeah. But
then you asked me.
It has not occurred to me, and maybe I'm just slow on it. But like the takeover of QR codes into our life has not been richly exploited yet. But boy, it sure could be.
Yeah,
easily.
Just take them straight to a copy of my book.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Anyway, why didn't you just DoorDash food?
Because nothing was open. They all close at 3 and open again at 5.
Oh, okay.
So I was in this window where they were
Sunday in a downtown region.
That was a Monday.
Okay.
So apparently nothing is open. Like
nothing's open?
There was only like one place and it had no vegetarian food at all.
Oh, okay. I believe it.
So
it is St. Louis.
So anyway. So yeah. So I came back from St. Louis and then I watched this shit.
Yeah. I mean, that is a lot. So
for almost 2 hours.
I will express empathy towards you.
For almost 2 hours tonight, Dan.
Yeah.
We watched Tim Walz.
Yeah.
And JD Vance.
Yeah.
It was somehow the worst of them.
I mean, I feel like time has healed the wound of the first one. Because that was absolutely the worst of them. This one was the most
tedious.
It's tedious, annoying little piece of shit man who I think probably did a better job than I would have liked him to have.
Okay, can I propose this?
Yes.
The first one was like us being told that we were locked in a car with a bomb and that we were going to die soon.
This is Trump Biden.
Right. Yeah. And this one was like realizing we had 9,000 paper cuts and we're sort of like, it's fine, but I feel tired and kind of cold and I'm sliding out of my chair. That they both kill you.
Yeah.
You know, one just takes longer.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a party.
Fun. It wasn't fun. Didn't like it.
No. What Harris Trump was more fun.
Harris Trump was a lot more fun. That was I think we can all agree the most fun.
Yeah, that one was being trapped in a car with a bomb and then realizing it was just one of those fun confetti party bombs.
Yeah. Party bomb. You know, one of those party bombs. That's right. Party bomb.
Yeah.
It was a party bomb, Dan.
Yeah.
Whereas
that one was a party bomb. Yeah.
This one was...
You know what this one was?
What?
It was being trapped in a car with a fart. And you couldn't get out. It was just getting worse and worse and worse.
No, Dan, this was like being trapped in a car with a bro who thinks he's much smarter than he is.
Yeah.
And you can't get out of the car, and he's going to explain shit to you
Yeah.
for the whole ride.
Yeah. He's not a likable man.
No.
But he is slick.
What he does is that he said crazy stuff too, but he said it in this like really reasonable cadence.
Yeah.
And would say things like, I think that the governor and I actually could agree on this. And but the thing is, Tim, that illegal immigrants come here and eat all our goldfish. And I think that's just something that President Trump and I, who's a wonderful guy, are just trying to stop. Are illegal immigrants coming from eating our goldfish? And I said that as a joke, forgetting that he said that. Dad, I'm so tired, I actually forgot about the eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that tonight.
No, there's a lot they didn't talk about.
There was a lot of... Well, I think what the American people would really appreciate is a return back to the common sense wisdom of Donald Trump. And there was Maureen Johnson... I can't believe that man had the gall to use the words common sense and wisdom and Donald Trump all in the same sentence, because that man's a lot of things, but he is none of those things.
Can I tell you a short story, Dan?
I would love it, Maureen.
My father-in-law is a Scotsman who has lots of like Scottish character friends. And he has this friend who was a real character.
Okay.
And his friend had a car. And I think everything in this car was bad, but they took out the engine and they put that somewhere else. Like they used it for a different car. Okay. And then he tried to sell the engineless
car. Okay.
And the way that he did it was he got someone to be like, hey, this is the car I'm trying to sell. And he parked it on a hill. And then he basically like just took the parking brake off and let it roll down a hill and then sold it at the garage at the bottom of the hill. So it looked like he drove into the garage when in fact, all he did was roll down the hill.
Yeah.
So he sold it to the garage at the base of the hill.
Yeah.
And once he got the money, he took off with another guy. Like they got another car and drove away. And then that guy realized that he just purchased a car without an engine.
Yeah.
And JD Vance is like he was just slickly, shit-eating grinly, weird blue eye, like kind of like the weird eyeliner, like someone who's just starting to experiment with eyeliner and hasn't quite gotten it.
Yeah.
Was just trying to sell us a line of shit.
Yeah.
And okay, let's just say it begins with this. The moderators are like, so it's all kicking off in the Middle East. How do you solve it? Go.
Yeah. Literally, the first question was, do you support a first strike if Iran was going to use a nuclear weapon? That is the first question for the vice presidential debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With one guy who's like, I'm a Minnesota folksy guy, and another guy who's like, I know this is the thing about JD Vance is the guy that could tell you the age of consent in every state. Right? He's that guy.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So and they are now suddenly having to talk about global nuclear deterrence. It was not a strong suit for anyone, and it was a hell of a way to get started.
Dan?
Yeah.
JD Vance is the guy at the door at every frat party who says, "Come on in, freshman chicks."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy's creepy as fuck. And then they're like, okay, you have 9 minutes, solve the Middle East crisis.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, climate change. Go.
Yeah.
Now, realize that we are woefully unprepared for this, given that the first debate ended at them yelling at each other about golf.
Yeah.
We're not prepared for this kind of shit.
No.
We're not emotionally, psychologically, or academically prepared for it.
No.
So it was a real bucket of cold water, Dan, because it's also been in the news a kind of a bad day.
It's been a bit of a rough run for the last few days, even.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also will say that the question about the Middle East was phrased like, don't you think, like, how quickly would you allow them to do, how quickly would you say Israel should do whatever the fuck they want? Like, it's just, it wasn't even like really phrased as any sort of a question that had
nuance.
It was a completed question in many ways.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was
there was a lot of agreement, Dan.
Yeah, so I mentioned this during the recording. But a few days ago, I got a fundraising email from the Democratic Party, which I'm sure everyone has had this experience because they come in waves. They come in swarms now. I get so many. But this one came from the official Harris Waltz account. It was written, Maureen, by Anthony Scaramucci. And it was about why he supports Harrison Waltz, because Trump is so terrible and he knows it. He saw it firsthand. And Maureen, when I got fucking the mooch's name in my inbox, I suddenly realized, oh, fuck. The, like, slick-suited, highly paid Democratic Party consultants are back in charge. After, a good month or a month and a half or whatever of falling from the coconut tree and all that shit. Letting them call them weirdos left and right. You will notice nobody's calling anyone weird anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
That worked, so they've stopped.
Dialed all that back. They've gone back to these people are threats to democracy. Instead of these people are fucking weirdos. Like, just fucking weird creeps. That worked so goddamn well. And so much of Tim Waltz, when he was at his most uncomfortable, it was when you could tell he was really trying to kind of remember the lines that had been drilled into him. And so much of those were the same fucking tired ass lines of like, well, there's not much difference between the two of us. We're on the same page here. They're just existential threats to democracy, but otherwise we're on the same page here. And it's like, this isn't good. That's not, no, fucking call him weird. Because you know what he is? Fucking weird.
He's really weird. Yeah, Dan, their capacity to self-own seems limitless. And there's someone whispering in their ear that says, we need to get all these, like, see if we can win a bunch of Republicans over. So let's just completely cravenly abandon all our values.
Yeah.
We're basically Republicans.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there is definitely that, the like kind of the holdover Clinton folks and that sort of thing. They have all kind of clambered right back into the boat now. And I didn't leave today with a great feeling.
It did, as we got to the end, one of the possibly the last question asked was about January 6th.
Yeah.
And this is the only part where it was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Because Waltz was like, look, did he win or did he lose or didn't he? JD Vance was like, I don't want to talk about the past.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the future. And they're like, did he or didn't he, fuckface?
Yeah.
And he said something along the lines of, the only reason you're here is because the last guy refused to certify in a way or not certify, and then they wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
All you really needed to do to win this debate was be like, listen, Junior, you're here because they tried to kill the last fucko. You are like a weirder, creepier version with the, with Wet and Wild eyeliner. But, listen, you couch fucking donut, don't know how to order, weird, doesn't know how to talk to women, creepazoid.
Yeah.
Go and play your fucking banjo elsewhere, fuckface.
Yeah.
And
but
then
instead, we got both me and my friend over here. We both love guns.
We both love
We
guns.
just fucking love those guns.
We love guns. We think they're great.
And I believe him when he says that he, respects women.
He probably does.
Just like all of that shit.
Yeah.
Somehow we went through that whole thing without anyone bringing up the fact that JD Vance spent years and years and years decrying women without children, despite the fact that we talked about childcare and families and women a bunch. Would think you would want to make him defend that, but no, I guess not.
The only person or people that owned him on that were the two women moderators who, when JD Vance wouldn't shut the fuck up, finally cut his mic and said, thanks for explaining the legal process to us, Senator. Like, they owned him.
Yeah.
They eventually had to cut his mic at one point. But aside from that, they meandered on politely. JD Vance saying just lies.
Yeah.
Just weird lies. Apparently, the reason the house prices are high is illegal immigration.
Yeah, that's the biggest threat to housing prices is illegal immigrants.
Didn't have to say it was.
He said that many times.
Oh, a lot. And they were like, where are you coming up with this? He's like, we have a thing. We have a thing.
We'll share it on social media.
We'll share it on social media. It's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you feel now, Dan?
I mean, I think, officially reached the nervous point of this election cycle, and this didn't make me feel less nervous. I feel like, and this was inevitable, the momentum of, July and August had to let up at some point, right? Just because, it was new and it was exciting, but I distinctly feel like, we might have timed that peak wrong, And so that makes me a little nervous. These fuckers are pretty damn good at somehow turning shit around in October, So I don't feel great. How do you feel? You probably feel great.
I feel like a lot of people get angry when people say, I got angry at Chapel Roll when she was like, they was like, I'm not thrilled with all the policies, but yes, I'm voting for Kamala. But like, yeah, you know what? They agreed on way too much shit. And you know what, Democrats, you are not covering yourself in glory because you just want to be are Republicans.
Right.
Fucking quit it.
Yeah.
Because that apparently is what you are if this is what you're into.
Yeah.
And that's really I mean, you're not, I don't know what. Yes. So clearly they went in there with a very clear strategy. They're like, let's have a nice, boring, polite debate.
Yeah.
If they were talking in good faith and having real positions on stuff, we could have said this was a good debate.
Right.
But it wasn't.
No.
It was just two people trying to have a weird agreement fest while one lied and was smarmy and creepy. And then they tried to do a gotcha with Tim Walz about when he went to China in 1985 on a school trip or something. It was, and they're like, and you, JD, you once called the person you're running with America's Hitler. Like they're the same thing.
Yeah. Well, and then he's able to be like, well, I've said a lot of things, and I've learned.
Yeah, I've learned.
Yeah, it was. I think one of the things that was a little bit hard was JD Vance is a used car salesman, and I think there is a reason other than a large amount of money coming from billionaires that he became senator with no qualifications, and that's because he can tell anyone what they want to hear. And he came across very slick and very polished, and Tim Waltz is neither of those things. And so my worry is he came across a little sputtery and a little wild-eyed in a way that I don't think helps him necessarily. Also, just weird shit like he made references to Tim Waltz, to people that are investing in houses as investment opportunities, and Wall Street flipping houses and that sort of thing. And I'm pretty sure that that's because JD Vance, when he was a VC, invested in companies that did that. And he made references to VCs and all that, but he never once said this man is a venture capitalist, supported by venture capitalists. He exploits working people. That's how he made his money, right? Like, he never did that. And I don't understand why. Like, there were so many weird sort of circular references to things. There was no attempt of him to redefine who JD Vance presented himself as.
Yeah.
Which was the son of a working mother who had to go into medical debt to put food on the table. There's a lot of opportunity left on that same table to fucking take down this fucking fake piece of shit. And he didn't do it.
It was a very hollow exercise.
Yeah.
The real JD Vance is the one that doesn't fucking know how to order donuts.
Yes.
Because he's not a human.
Right. Because that's in an actual unmediated environment. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't really know how to function in those environments, despite legitimately growing up in a real place with not a lot of money. But then he got money, and then he doesn't know how to talk about or to humans.
The Wharton
because
School
he's a fucking weirdo.
The Wharton School is often invoked in all of these. And my first job out of college was I worked for a bunch of consultants off of the Wharton School.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what they did. I was like, they pay me and I sit here in this chair and then I do my theater job at night.
Yeah.
And frequently I do not do anything. I just sit here and write.
Yeah.
But I did see a lot of their slick bullshit that they did. And I had to copy their papers and listen to they're talking about Foucault to people from the management division at Kraft. Like it was. Yeah. I know the type.
Right.
And totally. he's like a bunch of policy papers stuck together.
Right.
With shit.
Right. Like there was he could have done this guy's, coming across real nice, real friendly. But the type. He's the guy that your company hires before they lay everyone off. Yeah. He completely comes across like a McKinsey consultant being brought in to downsize a factory.
He is the guy in Die Hard.
Call him that.
Who thinks he can talk to Hans Gruber.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. And
Donald Trump will eventually kill him. Eventually, if Donald Trump gets back in, JD eventually will go into the alligator pit because all of his cronies. That's the thing. When you sign up for Donald Trump, eventually he just kills you or tries
to. Absolutely.
So yeah, you took this weird position, and if Donald Trump gets in, he will throw you in.
Yeah.
They will be pulling them JD Vance parts for years. All of those people go into his meat grinder.
Yeah.
Does he think he's going to be different? I think he probably does.
Every single one thinks they're going to be.
Yeah.
Every single one.
He tried to murder the last one.
He did.
And that guy would do anything. And he still wanted to kill him.
I mean, that guy would do anything and still would. That guy isn't out there being like, hey, you know who tried to fucking kill me? Don't vote for him. Like, I think that if I was in that situation, I would be quite visible right now.
Mm-hmm. I'd be mad. I'd be more mad. You know what I mean? If I worked for someone and they literally had their goons build a gallows outside work, I'd be so mad.
I'd be pretty pissed off.
I'd be like, don't work for him. He wants to hang you.
Yeah. I'd be like, everyone, remember me? I was a dead man.
Yeah.
I hid. I hid from them. They were making phone calls asking where I was so they could send a car to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So I hid from them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't actually want to die.
Dan, we aren't in a spy movie. We're in Austin Powers now.
Yeah.
We deserve this, I think.
I don't think we deserve this.
Well, Dan, we watched it, so we deserve this.
I don't think we deserve it. I think that's your Catholic school upbringing.
We watched it?
I mean, we watched it, yes.
So yeah, and how do you feel now?
I don't feel good.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I deserve to not feel good.
But
I feel like we deserve better choices in this country than the ones we have.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Like I feel like the fact that I feel like shit after watching a presidential debate is not a me thing.
Mm.
That's a them thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a, choose between the shit sandwich and the piss shake thing.
Mm. You asked me at one point as we're watching it, hey, you know what's fun? And I said, no, I don't know what's fun.
It's true.
Because if I did, I wouldn't fucking be here.
It's true.
I would be off doing something fun. But because I don't know what that is, I'm here watching this and recording it so everyone can see just what a dumb fuckwit I am.
The answer to that question was that we got to record this next.
I'm so sleepy.
It's what,
this is
11:30 there?
This is
what
the
time
sleepiest.
Was your flight today? When did you get up?
It wasn't that early.
Okay. That's
although
fine. You sounded really like, oh.
I'm trying to remember because the cleaning staff woke me up really early accidentally. Like they came to my door at like 6:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
And they were like, Ch-ch-ch. And I was like, hold on. And I fell out of bed apologetically. I was like, and then they went, oh, sorry, Maureen, wrong door.
Wow.
I was like, what? Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And I was having a weird dream that my friend was sick. And for some reason, we had spent 2 full days and nights at a local cafe that doesn't exist. It was the creation of the dream. And for some reason, we were sleeping on the floor in the middle of like the dining area. And I was like, and I kept refusing to, and I was like, and for some reason, I never wear shoes anywhere. So I'm like, I'm weird and barefoot. And I've been sleeping on this cafe floor for 2 days for no reason. And then I was like, and now she's sick. And I was trying to work all this out. And then they come to the door and I'm like, but I'm trying to figure out why. I'm like, this was our fault for sleeping on the floor the whole time at the cafe. I could have gone home. And why aren't I wearing any shoes? And that's how I feel now. Like I've just made a bunch of really stupid decisions. And then I'm like, great.
That's legitimate.
Yeah. Not wearing any shoes. I've been sleeping on the floor of this cafe. Now she's sick.
You're also probably high on shoe stretching liquid fumes.
Well, it's probably not helping.
Maureen's been sitting next to a bottle of shoe stretching liquid.
Yeah. This one boot, it has like a little dent in the heel cup, and I think that's the problem. So I'm going to have to go to my shoe guy. I have a good shoe guy.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I got like a shoe shop. That's like, it smells like heavy chemicals. And it's just,
I believe that's called a cobbler.
Oh, this guy is awesome. And he can, and I'll be like, hey, I want new soles on these. I want this heel cup fixed. I want this all polished up. And I'll kind of look over. Okay. $40. You come tomorrow.
There you go.
And then you come back and you need in New York, you can get a guy that like, he just is a whole room full of like tools and polishes and like equipment, and he fixes stuff.
A lot of places have shoe repair guys.
Not like this guy.
Okay.
My shoe guy's he can do anything.
Okay.
I love my shoe guy.
All right.
I'll be like, this cup is dented in the back. I can't get my heel in it, and I want you to polish these up, make them beautiful, and be like, all right.
Yeah.
You come tomorrow.
Okay.
It's always tomorrow. He doesn't take that long. He's good at his job.
Well, I'm glad. You've got a shoe guy. After the fumes in there, I'm glad you've got a shoe guy.
The fumes are intense. I don't know how he stays in there all day. It is something, the fumes in that place.
Yeah, I bet.
Sleepy. Oh my God, I'm tired. God damn it, Dan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have to do a full hour, Maureen. Oh my God, her eyes are closing. I think that it's okay. I think it's okay.
My nightmares also make me tired sometimes, so I took them when I had to take this. So.
Oh no. Well, on that note.
I don't like it, Dan. I don't like that it's October 1st and we just did that.
I like that it's October 1st. It is absolutely gorgeously fall-like here. And every time the fall hits, I remember that it is my absolute number one favorite weather time. It's so gorgeous here right now. It is beautiful.
I see that, Dan. But it also means this election is in 5 weeks.
I know, but that means that we're going to Disneyland in 5 weeks. So we've got that going for us.
Well, you guys, also, I think I'll update, but I think I'm going to be on the Ari Velshi show this weekend.
That's
on
fun.
MSNBC. So, I'll put a thing up.
You're really getting very tired. I feel like we need to bring this to a close. This episode of Says Who is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho, our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday you get this all over again. This Sunday, you will get me and Maureen on video watching that thing, the debate. So don't watch it, but whatever.
Yeah, don't watch it.
I mean, they can do what they want. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but don't watch it. Anyway, but normally you just get me and Maureen having fun times, good times on Sundays with Maureen and Dan is really what the Town Watch should be called. And that's all available to you if you give it the $5 or $10 a month level. The $10 a month gets you a sticker in the mail because I make them, and then my 9-year-old packs them up and sends them to you.
That's cute.
It's very cute, and he gets money, and then he goes to the game store and buys games. So all of that is available to you at patreon.com/sayswho. Our theme music is performed by Ted Leo. Our logo is designed by Darth. You can contact us on Threads at Says Who Podcast or at sayswho@omfg.town. On Mastodon, you can email it that is HEY at sayswhopodcast.com. You can join the Facebook group at /group/Sayswhovians. Our Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. There's also a fan-run Discord server at tinyurl.com/sayswhodiscord. Whatever you do, please leave stars and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is that you listen. And until next week, in my basement, I remain Dan Sinker.
The flash poll says of who won the VP debate, 42% said JD Vance, 41% said Tim Walz.
Yeah.
17% said tie.
Yeah. That sounds like the actual election, too.
That I think that because someone's like, oh, like Brian Setzler is like, no, so nothing changed. I'm like, no, everything changed because no one fucking liked JD Vance before that. And now they're like, I guess he's fine.
Right. Yeah, there's that.
Oh my God. Did you hear the noises as she's rubbing her butt and her face on the sofa and she's going, all right. She's doing that.
It's time for you to go join Buttface and go to sleep.
I'm so tired.
I know. So just say your name. That's right. She's Maureen Johnson, and this has been Says Who. Boop, 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 boop.